Hello everybody, this is Danny and Wanda from Deep South Homestead. We wanted to do this particular video. This is kind of a thank you video, really. And I guess I want to start it off and kind of do it right because I want to try to put things in order. I want to start off by saying thank you to Pear, first of all, for giving us this opportunity to come to the Great Appalachian Homesteading Conference to speak and giving us the opportunity to meet all of you people.
Yes, it was wonderful.
It was wonderful. Secondly, the only way this was really possible this year for us was that Scratch-Made Homestead, Danny and Leslie Fox, agreed to meet us at a certain point and drive the rest of the way. Now that was that was a huge blessing because at Wanda and I's age and our health problems that we have.
Yeah, it's not that we're real old.
We're not old. It's we have a lot of health issues
and not used to driving.
Yeah, we don't go anywhere or anything anymore, and Danny agreed to do the driving for us.
And did a fabulous job.
Did a fantastic job.
Awesome.
We actually flew there. You know what I mean? It was.
Yeah, and pretty much.
Let's just leave it at that. You know, we got there. Faster.
He knows how to handle the car, don't he?
He knows how to handle himself in traffic. Let me put it that way. But you know, we had a great trip with the Foxes. Of course, y'all have to understand they're real close friends of ours. And
yes, we got to know them last year, early on.
Early on last year, yeah.
Maybe February, March of last year.
Yeah.
And they've been here like 3 times.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
We've just had a wonderful time with them. They're great people.
Great people, y'all.
And while we're on the subject of Scratch-Made Homestead, they own a candy factory called Tanner's Pecans. They do other things besides candy.
Yeah.
But look up tannerspecan.com. Tanner's has an S, Pecans doesn't. tannerspecan.com. They brought pralines in little cute gift packages, and they put them on every table. Every vendor that was in there, they gave them some pralines. Those are awesome. And if you don't believe me, I think Pear got to taste some. I don't know if she has a video with her tasting, but they're all
not sure, but they're awesome. They do a great job. Not only do they do that, they mix up all kinds of sauces and rubs and just all kinds of mixes for different companies and send them all over the world.
We've got bugs.
We got bugs on us here, y'all. Seemed like I felt something crawling on me there, but anyway, you know, if you have something like that you'd like to have, you know, maybe for their business, it might be a good thing to contact them.
Contact Tanner's Pecans, especially if you want something with pecans in it.
Yeah.
They make some awesome stuff. All kinds of candies.
All kinds of candies.
We stopped at J&J Acres.
Yes. Thank you, Jared, for J&J
Jared let
Acres.
us leave our vehicle at his house because we didn't know anybody in the vicinity and happened to think of him. And we were going to leave it at the airport and was contacting him on was it safe there because we didn't know the area. And he graciously let us leave our vehicle at his house, so he watched it.
Yeah.
And not only that, we got honey from him.
We did.
Which was a blessing.
We was able to bless him by purchasing some of his honey.
So J&J Acres, we got honey from him. It's a cute little decorative glass that he bought, and it's actually corked, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think it was corked. So we got honey from him. Now we can go to the conference.
Yeah, well, we actually, because we're not used to traveling, to be honest with you, it actually took us 2 days to make the trip. We actually spent the night in Fort Payne, Alabama.
Yeah. Excellent hotel.
Excellent hotel.
The bed was awesome.
The bed was awesome.
We were tired.
We were just, it's just to go ahead and admit it, we were just wore out because we're not used to traveling.
Yeah.
And you know, once we spent the night at the hotel, we got up the next morning. Of course, it was raining. It rained all the way. You know, it was cloudy and drizzly.
But not heavy, just a drizzle rain.
Just a kind that's really not comfortable to travel in, really. You know,
drizzly.
But we made it there safe, and I guess the funny thing was when we drove up, Pear was outside her car.
Her and Starry were getting stuff out.
Her and Starry and Jen from the Nut House.
Yeah.
Was getting stuff out of the vehicle, And we just ran right up to the vehicle, started blowing the horn and everything. They had no clue.
And jumped out and started just hugging their necks, and they couldn't see who we were.
Yeah.
Because I'd done grabbed Patera by the time I got out of the car, and she was turning around. She didn't see who we were. Her and Starry both were like, "Oh, we're being mobbed."
We're being mobbed, you know. I mean, it's a wonder Patera didn't go into her Grob Macaw mode, you know,
yeah.
and whip our butts right there. But you know, but she spared us when she saw who we were.
And while we were standing there, Jen from the Nut House, JM from the Nut House, Jen, she was standing off to the side. She had just gotten there. And you got to know, Jen and I have talked for a year now, but I've never seen her. I didn't know what she looked like.
Right, we didn't have any clue.
Had no clue. And she walks up and she looks at me and she just reaches to grab me and hug me. And when she does, I'm fixing to ask her who she is because I'm sitting there. She had this huge smile on her face. And she grabs me, and when she does, she goes, "Oh, Wanda." And when she said something, I knew from the voice. I didn't have to ask, but I was fixing to ask. Because I knew there were so many people the next day I was going to meet. But Jen is one of our favorite people. She brought us banana flour.
Yes.
A couple of things of banana flour.
She brought us a couple of things of banana flour, which, as we're talking, y'all, you're going to see these little, we're going to do the pop-ups.
Yeah, I'm going to put y'all clips where y'all can see these.
Yeah, you'll see the clips of the things that different people brought us out of just the goodness of their hearts.
And then Jen flew her dad from Arkansas. His name is Marlon.
Marlon, yes.
And he brought me some cotton. It's brown cotton.
Mississippi cotton.
Yeah, and I'm going to try it. And then he makes candies. He brought some brittle. Like peanut brittle, but it's got pecans in it. And oh my goodness, y'all, that is good. And there was some other kind, honey candy. Was it honey? There was some other kind of candy he had that I tasted, and I done forgot now, but he loves making candies too. So we got to meet Marlon.
Got to meet Marlon. Yeah, I mean, he was actually subbed to us when Jen was subbed to us. And
early on.
Real early on, yeah.
So we got to meet all those. Let's see.
Then we went back to the hotel that night, completely exhausted from traveling and setting up.
No, while we were there, we set up. We met Brenda's Basics.
Oh, Brenda's Basics, yes, because she was at the table next to us. Y'all need to check them out. They're really cool people.
Brenda's Homemade Basics.
Homemade Basics. She had all kind of soaps and lotions.
And she has something on YouTube because I went and watched some videos. She did a couple of videos around the conference too.
Yeah.
And all, but she does a lot of different mixtures and salves. She gave me a lotion stick. I didn't know they made lotion sticks, so we're going to be trying that out soon.
And we met with Starry. We had some time with her. Spent a little bit of time.
We did a live stream that first night.
Yeah, we did a live stream with her.
And Patera, the first night. Who all was there? Mainly Starry and Patera.
Mainly just Starry and Patera. We took them in the back room back there and showed them. Basically, they had never live streamed either one of them.
That was fun.
We took them back there and just let them kind of get a feel of what it was like to live stream. I think we might have created a monster with Starry.
Well, the second day, on Saturday night, Danny helped Starry get on live.
Yeah, I showed her how to set her computer up and get online and get live.
Guys, from now on, Starry's going to be live. And from what I'm talking to Patera, she's fixing to go live. We have created
monsters there, I'm afraid. Yeah, Starry may burn up all their gas and battery bank being off grid. I'm not sure, but I think that might happen.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty fun.
But, you know, we went back to the hotel that night and got a good night's rest and got up the next morning, headed out early where we could make sure we were there before everybody got there. And got there, and still everybody was there.
Yeah, well, like 7:15, and man, there were already people coming in the doors.
Yeah.
And luckily, we had already set our table up the evening before, because if not, we wouldn't have got it set up. There's
just no way we could have got it set up in time.
Because people were hugging necks and taking pictures from 7:15 till
10 o'clock that night.
We didn't leave till after 10.
We left after 10, yeah.
But most of them, we had about quit taking pictures by 7:30 or so.
Yeah, because we knew it was going to be over around 6:30 because the giveaways didn't start till 6 o'clock. And then by the time all the giveaways took place, and a lot of people missed out on some of the giveaways because they left.
I think she gave a lot of it away in between. She was doing some.
Yeah.
And we ended up going live
We went live a little earlier.
7:30,
about
quarter to
7:30. Yeah, quarter to 8 sometime.
And I think Danny said we probably stayed on 2 hours. I don't know, but we had Patera's mother, who is a hoot. She is so funny. Telling stories about Patera. Yeah. We had Old Alabama Gardner. He had
never live streamed.
He's in the audience. He's in the chat on a lot of live streams, but he had never live streamed. Yep. So we had him. So we had at least 3 people first.
We had Mike Pratt.
Mike and Jenny Pratt.
The Aldermans. What's the one?
Prickly
Pear started off with you because I had to be gone for a few minutes, and I told Prickly Pear
she agreed to
set in. She had never done that.
Yeah.
So we actually exposed several different people there to the live streaming.
She had fun too. She stayed. Actually, she stayed till we left.
She stayed till we left. Yeah.
And that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's see who else.
Oh, we just had a blast, y'all. There was so many people there when we were live streaming. When we were live streaming the first night and the second night, we had an audience around us. We Quake Lake was there. Sheila from Quake Lake was there. I mean, they were just...
And you guys, she brought me some candy corn that is in pastel colors.
Yeah.
So I had to open one of them and eat a few of them, just because. But I'm collecting candy corn, and she knew it. And I want it in all colors that I can find, so she brought me some that is in pastel colors. And that was pretty awesome. And Quake Lake had a few little bumps in the road all weekend, but she persevered. And Two Family Homestead was there. And they watched after the first night because she didn't know too many people at the hotel she was at, and they were there, so they kind of stepped in and mothered her a little bit. So I want to give Two Family Homestead a shout out for helping Quake Lake.
Daryl and them was just a blessing. I mean,
and we went to Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
And we put up a video at Cracker Barrel. Danny goes, now's your time. If you want to get everybody in the room, you're going to have to go around and take little snapshots of everybody for a video. So I went table to table and had people introduce themselves. And when I get to the table, I'd say, hey, and you are, and they would tell me, and I didn't cut out any of that. I just pretty much threw it all together that night and pitched it out there. But when I got to the table that Tommy and Patty Alderman and Daryl and Sherry were sitting at from Two Family Homestead, I looked at Tommy and Patty and I said, and who are you? And they said they were Tommy and Patty, And I looked at Daryl and Sherry and I said, and you are? And Sherry goes, I'm Wanda. And Daryl goes, and I'm Danny. And it didn't register. I was so tired. It took me a full probably 5 seconds or more to figure out what they had just said. And I just cracked up. And you'll see the camera go down because I laid on the table just dying out laughing and then picked it back up. But it was so funny.
It was funny. They did a good job with it.
Yeah. And then we had, and Starry was calling it crackleberry.
Yeah, crackle. She couldn't say cracker.
She couldn't remember cracker, so she said crackleberry. And to be honest, we ate it crackleberry. I call it crackleberry.
No,
Crackle Barrel.
Cracker Barrel. Sorry, you've ruined this, girl.
We'll never have
We'll never be right with Cracker Barrel again, But actually,
we ate 3 times.
We ate 3 times at Cracker Barrel, and I'll tell you, the first time I was very disappointed. I'll just go ahead and say it.
His steak was tough.
My steak, I ordered it, just kind of medium, and I got back. They sent it to me, and you couldn't even cut it with the knife they sent it with, But I was so tired at that moment, I just didn't care. Yeah. I ate what I could eat off of it.
And we took a lot of our food, but we knew he could eat meat as long as it wasn't coated in anything.
Yeah, as long as it was just plain meat.
Steaks hamburgers that weren't coated in anything, as long as it was real beef.
Yeah. Hamburgers, baked potatoes.
The one place we ate that was awesome.
Oh, yes.
Amish.
The cupboard.
Something like that. It was an Amish place that sold all kinds of things.
I got turkey, fresh turkey breast.
And cheese.
And I could eat the sharp cheddar cheese. I had turkey breast and sharp cheddar cheese sliced and put together. And I brought sweet potato chips.
Yes, and we sent Scratch back, and he bought 2 bags for us. We wanted 10, but they were out. They only had 2 bags.
Yeah, they were sweet potatoes that had just been turned into potato chips. They were fantastic. No ingredients in them, just oil and the sweet potatoes. It was.
Yeah. So we're going to look online for those.
Yeah, that was good.
And then another place we ate was a coming back was O'Charlie's. The Aldermans have a video up, and that's Alderman Farms, because they were there the whole weekend, and we had a blast with them, believe me.
Yeah, we all followed each other back. Or they followed us. We were following them to start with, but then we caught up. And
yeah, they were live streaming, and we were watching their live streaming. We caught up. We figured out about how far ahead they were, and they weren't but less than a mile. So Scratch speeded up a little bit, and we just waved to them as we went by while they were live streaming.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. But O'Charlie's was a good...
O'Charlie's was fantastic. I ordered the filet mignon.
He had to go expensive, y'all.
Yeah, I had to go expensive on that one. It's hard to find anything because I asked for the gluten-free menus, and when I got it, you know, you go to these fancy restaurants, there's not much stuff there you can eat that's actually what... I mean, even though I'm gluten-free, I can't have grains and all that stuff. So it's kind of hard to find anything that didn't have some sort of wheat or something in it. But I ordered a filet mignon with a baked potato. And I'm going to tell you, that garlic baked potato and that filet mignon, you could cut the filet mignon with a plastic fork. I mean, it was just that good.
So overall, eating, he didn't have too many issues. I think about one day maybe.
One morning on the way back, we had to eat those eggs out of that hotel. Yeah. And they must have been powdered eggs or something like that. But all the way home,
it didn't look good to me. But
all the way home, I had stomach issues. I mean, literally for 8 hours, I had stomach pain. I didn't say anything to anybody. It was just the eggs. It was just the eggs that bothered me.
But overall, his health did really well.
Yep.
I was the one that got sick when we were leaving the hotel. I got chilled, and I couldn't get warm the whole time. When we got home, I didn't feel too good, but I made it Monday. We picked English peas, snap beans. We canned them.
We didn't pick snap beans.
Yes, we did. We did both. I had.
Did we? Yeah, yes, we did. We picked English peas and snap beans. That's right.
And I canned both of those. And after lunch Monday, I got to feeling rough, but I made it all day. I think later in the evening, I started feeling sick and started taking a sore throat. And Tuesday, I had a severe sore throat. I was dizzy, chills. I stayed in bed all day long. I didn't even hardly get up, but just 2 or 3 times. And Danny took over everything. So I've been sick. That's why I sound like I do. But today's been better. I'm getting over it and all. So our health held up pretty well. Yeah, our health held up pretty well. I was afraid I might have some heart issues and stuff like that, you know, but it didn't bother me while I was there that bad. I had some, but not bad, you know. And you know, him speaking, he said it was a little bit of he's used to speaking to people. I've spoken my whole life. Not in so long that when he got up and there was that many people in the room, because I don't know how many chairs she had out, but they were all full and there were people standing around. The whole building, I mean, just standing room around the walls. The room, there was 1,000 tickets sold, so it had to be close to 1,000 people there. Yeah. You know? So the room was packed. Yeah. And he said that was a little. Well, it was when I first. I mean, being on the panel looking out. I mean, it didn't look so bad. Well, no, it kind of, because I had to speak right after the panel, or Starry did. Starry spoke right after the panel, and then I spoke. And it being on the panel kind of broke the ice for me, because when I went up there and looked out over the people, it gave me time to kind of get over that little bit of a shock, so that when I went up there, I was ready to go. I mean, I had no problem once I got up there. Yeah, and I only said 1 or 2 things on the panel, so I was good. But because I mentioned all our roosters on the panel, Patera gave me a plaque that says, "The rooster crows, but the hen delivers the goods." Yep. So I got a plaque from her on that, and it was pretty cool, because it's a big plaque. It's a big plaque. I'll show you. It'll be in the... But it was interesting sitting on the panel, because we got to be with Jim Buckmeyer. Yes, and John Pearson. John Pearson. These 2 guys are phenomenal. They're a world of knowledge. And y'all, Jim Buckmeyer, he travels the country. Mm-hmm. He does all these kind of things and does not charge a dime. He teaches kids. He teaches people. It's a blessing to someone who can do that. He's a wealth of knowledge. He studied history. Yeah. And how things work together as far as everything, the whole layout, whether it's how to live, how to cook, how to grow, how to do animals.
It doesn't matter, whatever.
It doesn't matter. He and John Pearson is more of a survivalist. And
yeah.
Believe me, the two of them together are just
Look,
awesome.
when you had them two sitting there together, that's a world of knowledge. And then we had Jay Null on the end, and Jay Null, I can relate to him so well because he and I think we think a lot alike. You know, because we both have the same mentality. As I watch his channel, I'm always like, wow. I mean, I'm like, that's exactly the way I look at things. And then we had Starry sitting right beside him, and Starry we've been following Starry for a long time,
yeah.
and I love her and Mr. Hilder. I mean, literally, I had no idea I would ever get to meet her.
No, and our thing is now that if we ever get to go anywhere else, we're going to Starry's Mountain and meet Mr. Hilder.
Yeah.
Just because.
Yeah, and then we had Bree was sitting beside. She's from Art and Bree.
From Art and Bree. She was beside you?
No, she was beside Tommy.
Oh, that's right. Tommy and Patty Alderman were by Danny, and then Bree was there.
Yeah.
We got to speak with Bree a few minutes after the panel.
And then Art came by later.
Yeah, we got to meet Art later.
Yep.
And
of course we had Tommy and Patty was there.
Yeah, and I had John beside me.
You had John beside
and
you.
Then,
and then the Pratts.
Pratts, Mike and Jenny. Oh my goodness, I think I've not had so much fun with anybody.
Actually, Mike and Jenny's where all the laughing came from.
Exactly.
I mean, we laughed until the point where our faces were starting to cramp.
And they're putting up a video, guys. You have to see.
I mean, literally, I asked Jenny, I said, what do you do when you have a cramp in your face? Do you eat? You can't eat a banana because your face hurts. You can't eat, you know, and that made it even worse. We got to laughing even more.
Jenny and I were almost rolling. We were laying down hurting so bad all over. We were tired. This had to have been, what, 10 o'clock at night? This was like
10 o'clock at night we were laughing so hard, yeah.
Because we had done quit live streaming.
Yeah.
And so it had to be between 9:30 and 10:30. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure about the time. It was late.
But it was late, and we were laughing so hard, but Mike Pratt got it on tape, so he should have a video up shortly. Those two are amazing. We had the best time with them, and we hope to continue our relationship with all these people.
With all these people, I mean, because it was just a fantastic. It was really more. It was more than we expected. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, and with the let's see, who else was there? The old Alabama
gardener, Mr. Charles, yes. And Mr. Charles had been here before, and we were already familiar with him, but we always love our time with him because he's such a wealth of knowledge. But not only was he there, he brought his brother Arnie, Mr. Arnie Hancock, and his sister came with him. And we got to meet basically the family.
And see, we didn't know it because we knew Mr. Arnie watched us, but we did not know he was Mr. Charles's brother, which was so awesome to get to meet those three.
And I thought Mr. Arnie said something that was very wise. He walked up to me and he says, Danny, this is right when we was getting ready to, it was late. He said, Danny, I just want to tell you this. He said, I went through the whole conference and I never once heard one four-letter word.
That's true.
No foul language was used anywhere. We never heard a foul word used at the conference. And I told him, I said, you know, I noticed that also, Mr. Arnie. I said, I didn't see that happening. And I also told him, I said, you know, there was some 200 and something odd kids here, and not one of them cut up.
They had a little room behind us, and we didn't even know they were there.
Right.
And the parents had them they were very well disciplined.
I mean, I give thumbs up to the parents. I mean, I wanted to say something when I was on the stage talking, but I promised Pear I would get her back on track with her time.
And he cut a little stuff out.
I had to cut a few things out, but I mean, the parents, thumbs up to y'all. You did a fantastic job with raising kids.
And that brings up one of the boys that was there, and I'm going to show you this letter up close. But his name is James Leo.
Yes.
I got this letter the day we were leaving.
Uh-huh.
And I wanted to know which kid he was, and I think I took a picture with him, but I forgot to ask because we were so busy till our brains weren't functioning real well. But he sent this, and he says, I watch your YouTube videos. They are very good. I'm 11 and live on a quarter-acre backyard He says, I raised 6 hens and 2.5 gardens. I grow watermelons, tomatoes, potatoes, English peas, and more. I hope Wanda stays healthy. I will be at the 2nd Annual Appalachian Homesteading Conference. Keep making your great videos. From James Leo. And he drew a picture of Buff Orpington, some corn, and some sunflowers on it. And I thought that was pretty cool that we got that just before the conference.
Who else do we have now? Let's who was the lady? The lady brought us water. Christy.
Yes. This was about
It was late.
8:30,
It
9
was
o'clock
late.
at
We
night.
had nothing to drink. We was about to die of thirst.
We drank some off and on, but we were getting ready to eat our supper.
Yeah,
Scratch had made a run.
made a run for us and went to a Cracker Barrel and got us baked potatoes, and you had some
I had fish. I had fried fish.
fried fish and
And
stuff.
we had nothing to drink. The
We were
ladies,
sitting there, we didn't have nothing to eat with, no forks, no spoons, nothing to drink, and we was like, what do we do, you know?
and Christy brought us some water. She had some in her bag.
Yeah.
And so we managed to eat. I think that was just before we live streamed or right afterward.
It was after we live streamed. No, was it before? Might have been before.
I think it was
don't
just
remember.
before.
Right before, yeah.
So thank you, Christy, for coming to the rescue.
Yeah.
And
And I had a chance to talk with another YouTube channel there. Had the mushrooms. Two
Angels
Two Angel.
Mushroom Farm.
Two Angels Mushroom Farm. Yeah, I had a chance to talk with him just a little bit.
They had a booth, right?
They had a booth set up over there. Scratch actually bought one of their logs. Scratch Made Homestead. He bought one of their
I
logs to
remember
take
seeing
home.
a log. I didn't know what the purpose
Yeah, I
was.
seen that. I went to the vehicle and there was a log in the back of the vehicle. Now I knew where it came from, but
Well, see, I didn't get to meet them. I didn't get.
yeah,
to
I
go
briefly
over
spoke to them. But we got to meet them also, and you know, there may be other YouTube channels there that we didn't get to meet.
there. Yeah.
But it's just because we was just so busy. You know?
I know there was several other different channels that had something going on in different rooms that we just, well, like I say, we didn't even get to hear who was speaking, even though we were in the same
even though
room.
we was in the same room, yeah.
We heard none of the speakers, so.
Yeah, and then one of our biggest surprises
Yeah.
was meeting one of our, what do you call it, one of our great friends.
Yeah, I'm just blown away because I didn't know Barry from Empty Hammock was coming. When
Yeah.
he walked in, he's done videos with us before. He stayed here twice,
Yeah.
and we didn't know he was coming. Patera asked him to come and make a video of the conference, and he's like the best videographer ever.
He's the man to have, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and if y'all haven't watched his Grounded series, he did J-Null Zero.
Yep.
Awesome, awesome. He captures J-Null fantastic.
Fantastic.
Then he came down here and he did Danny and Wanda's story.
Yeah.
And so you go to Empty Hammock's channel and watch those two.
Did he do Dirt Patch?
No, he's not. Those only two.
Yeah, those
He's
only two.
done two
He's
right
only
now.
done two, that's right.
He's done two, and those are the absolute best films. He is awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. Barry is just a sweetheart. He's got a very unusual sense of humor.
He
and
does, but I mean, the man is so knowledgeable in so many areas and got a beautiful family.
Yes,
you know, I mean,
we love his family.
His family, you know.
They didn't make it with him, but
No. But
he just he seemed to have a good time. He's like a stealth ninja. You
He
never
is.
know he's there, and all of a sudden, I mean, we would be talking to somebody, and I'd look around, and he's standing right here.
yeah,
And then I'd turn back around, and he's gone.
he's just gone.
And then after a while, I'd see him, he was back in the back. And then a little while later, I'd see him up front. And
Yeah.
he's so quiet, and you don't really notice him filming. He's just there.
Yeah.
So I call him my stealth ninja.
But
he's pretty
you know,
good.
I think Patera probably picked the right person to do
Oh, I
this.
know she did.
You know, I mean, because Barry is one of our great friends, and Barry, we want to just give you a shout out and say thanks
Thank you.
for doing what you did at the conference for Patera. That I'm sure it means a lot to her.
Yes, and we just appreciate it that we got to see Barry again. Anytime we get to see him, it's just a plus for us.
It's always a plus for us. Yeah. So, thumbs up to Barry.
There was one guy there. His name was Jake. What is that?
Beatty.
Jake Beatty. He wrote this book, Winter's Coming. And I bought this. He was a vendor there. He grew up.
He grew up off grid.
Off grid. His parents built their own house with their own
cut their own
hands.
trees, peeled them,
Yeah.
and took and Yeah, I mean, you have to understand the story he told about how they rolled them up on it's called cross-hauling, I think is the word he used. They cross-hauled them up on top of the cabin as they took chains and pulled them up as they built this cabin. And he documents that in this book. And so I want to give him a shout out with this.
Yes. Winter's coming. So if anybody's looking for a really good book
about homesteading and being off-grid and stuff like that, it's a really good book.
Yes.
Okay, now was there anybody else? Now we got some mugs from Starry. When she was there, we've always wanted something from Starry and Mr. Hilder. And when Starry first got there, I saw her unloading and putting stuff on the table, and I saw these 2 mugs. And I told Wanda, I said, I've got to have those. You know, so we went up and immediately purchased those from Starry before.
Actually, we didn't purchase them.
Oh, we bartered.
We bartered. The great homesteading thing.
Homesteading thing, we bartered with Starry. That is right.
Because I said, how much do you want for these 2 mugs? I'm going to go get money and I'll be right back. And she says, oh, no, no, no. She said, we'll barter. I'll come to your table. And later she came to the table and she's looking around. And I think she left with a couple of jellies and something else.
There was something else she got from the table.
Oh, the sweet potato slips.
Did she get those?
She wants to take them back to Idaho and grow sweet potatoes.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So we bartered for the mugs. I mean, it wouldn't have been a homesteading conference without bartering.
They had to be bartering done somewhere. You know, we
didn't barter, I don't think, with anybody else.
I think Starry's the only one we bartered with, wasn't it?
I think
yeah, we were looking for people to barter with, but
we were too busy.
We were too busy.
It was just.
As a matter of fact, one of the things is going to be one of the. I don't know if it's the time to mention this, but one of my regrets.
Yes, one of the regrets we have.
You know, Wanda and I talked about at the conference. What was our greatest regret from the conference? You know, and
the one thing we didn't get to do.
We did not get to do, and our greatest regret. Well, I asked Wanda, told me her. Well, didn't tell me her.
I didn't tell him. I just asked him, and when
she said, "What is your greatest regret?" And I said, "My greatest regret is that I was so busy that I did not get to spend any time with John from J-Null Zero."
That was mine. I had already wrote that down.
I wanted so bad to spend some time with John, just one-on-one talking to him, but we stayed so wound up until John finally made his way over to our table, and we got about 2 minutes worth of time together. And John, I'm so sorry because...
Yeah, because all I got was he was coming in to leave, and I saw him, and I said, J-Null, he just grabbed me and hugged me with a big bear hug, y'all. He's just a big bear. He hugged me and he says, Wanda, I'm fixing to leave. I'm so out of my element. And he loved it, but yet he was very nervous about that many people. And we were too. And I said, I know. I said, I may not get Danny out for a year after this. He may not go anywhere.
Right.
And he just hugged me and he says, okay. He said, where's Danny? He said, tell him. And then he looked at me and he says, never mind, I'm going to tell him myself. And he took off where Danny was.
Yeah.
But that's our one regret, was that we were all so busy that we did not get time to spend alone with J-Null for a while and just sit down and chill.
We would have loved to have him on a live stream with us.
Oh,
that would have been...
That would have been fun.
That would have been the icing on the cake for us at the conference. Yeah.
Yes, and maybe next time. We're going to try and get together with him at some point in time in the future. And if we can finally pin him down for long enough, we'll do a live stream with J-Null.
We'll do a live stream with J-Null at some point, maybe.
Some point in the future, we would love to.
But we want to take this opportunity also. There were so many of our subscribers that was so good to us, and they were such a blessing to us, that we wanted to take this video and we wanted to also honor those. And we wanted to show you a few of the gifts that they brought to share with Deep South Homestead. There was one in particular one that took Wanda and me by surprise, and I want to say to Bill and Rosa.
Yeah, off-grid with Bill and Rosa.
Off-grid with Bill and Rosa.
Or Bill and Rosa off-grid.
It's one way or the other. We watch them occasionally, and they went out of their way and pick a lady up and her daughter, and to bring them to the conference. And
I think they're in Tennessee. I don't know where Bill and Rosa are.
That touched me.
Yeah.
That touched my heart.
He went and picked them up, and it's two ladies' homestead. And Umbra brought me, and from what I understand, she gave Starry And Patera's husband, James, one of these babies, one of her babies.
These are her babies
These
now.
are her babies. This one is Kingpin. And this one is George. And she and I talked for a long, long time. And Umbra said it's for us to hug when we're at the hospital because she knew all three of us had been to the hospital. And she wanted us to have one of her babies. Now she told me Kingpin eats fish. He likes his fish, but he likes it cooked. He doesn't like it raw. And George he likes vegetables, but he also wants his vegetables cooked. And George's a little mischievous, I think, because she told me
if he gets out of line.
If he gets out of line, to thump his head or either pat him on the butt, you know. She said Kingpin is pretty good, but she said you can thump his nose every now and then, and he'll stay in line.
It kind of straightens him up a little bit. Yeah.
And so Umbra brought these to me, and that was just special. And I went and watched their channel. I mean, we don't know lots of times until somebody brings it to our attention, channels. So I went and watched their channel, and they did a video on sweet potatoes. And I'm linking it in several of our videos.
Yes.
Because she did an excellent job comparing sweet potatoes in water as opposed to in ground.
Yeah.
I've not seen anybody do that before, and she did a great job.
She did a great job. Now, Umbra also gave us some drawings.
Yes. Oh, they're in the. I'm going to put those in the pictures.
Okay. Show them in the pictures because she done some beautiful artwork.
And she did that. She used some type of pens because she says she does use pencils sometimes, but mine was done with pens.
With pens.
And it's beautiful.
Beautiful.
And so we're going to be keeping up with Two Ladies Homestead.
Right.
And I'm going to put their links and everything in the description. But Umbra's a beautiful girl, and Umbra, George, and Kingpin say they are enjoying Deep South Homestead, and you do need to come visit them one day, okay?
Yeah, they have had a blast here.
They got to ride for a long, long time, and they were tired too when they got here.
When they got here, they were extremely tired. They had to sit down and lay down for a nap when they got here.
Yeah, they did. They laid down, took a nap, and they're getting to know our other animals around here pretty good. So
yeah,
they're at a good home now.
They're fitting in real well with the rest of the animals.
They are. So we want to thank Bill and Rosa for going and getting them. And we want to thank Two Ladies Homestead for coming and visiting with us.
Yes.
It was awesome, guys.
It was awesome, guys.
One thing I got at the conference that I couldn't stand. I mean, if you were at the conference, you had better buy one of these.
Yeah.
It was one of Miss Pauletta's aprons.
Oh, yes.
They
were so beautiful.
I mean, she had such a variety. She probably didn't have more than 2 or 3 of each kind. There were just so many different ones. And I bought the black with the yellow trim with the bees on it. I just thought that was the prettiest thing.
It's beautiful.
I told Danny, I said, you could about wear heels and just go out on the town.
You could almost wear it, with just your clothes. Yeah.
I mean, it was so pretty.
Yeah.
It was so well done that I thought, most people don't think of an apron as a little black dress to wear on Friday night to go out in, but I do believe you could put that on over. You'd have to have something on.
You have to have something on the back, but I mean, it was so nice looking. It looked like a dress that was just cut in half. Yeah.
And so I you could take and put on a black dress and put that apron on and go out on Friday night, and you'd be right uptown. Miss Pauletta sells her aprons, but you have to go on Facebook to Favorite Things Gift Collection. And she sells her aprons and other things. She has lots of things, but the aprons, they're just too cute.
They are.
They're adorable.
Okay, one of the subscribers came to us that watches us, and he brought us some Mayhaw jelly. Now that was Andy Duke.
And we got to spend a lot of time with him.
We got to spend a lot of time with Andy. Got to know him.
He was there Friday and Saturday.
He was there Friday and Saturday. Drove all the way in from Texas, and just great guy, y'all. We love spending time with him. We love talking to him. He was telling me all about the Mayhaw trees and about how he's looking at a new variety, and he's giving us this Mayhaw jelly that you see. And we're just anxious.
And we have Mayhaw trees, but they're not very old. And
they're not bearing yet.
They hadn't bared. We haven't had any yet.
And I thought it was ironic that all of a sudden we're growing Mayhaw trees and they're young, and here comes Andy he has mayhaw trees, and he tells me all about mayhaw trees.
So maybe we can make ours produce in the next year.
Yeah,
too.
maybe so.
We're just anxious to have some because I've never seen a mayhaw actually. I mean, we have the trees, but they've not produced.
They've not produced, yeah.
So I've not ever seen. I made mayhaw jelly, but it was my aunt sent the juice to me. So I've not seen them in their real form, I guess. And then we got other things. One lady, I think she was from Maryland.
Yeah.
Some of the names we're not saying because we didn't know if
we didn't ask people to have their permission on some of them, so we may not mention your name. So, and I hope that doesn't offend you, but we got a dehydrator book from a lady.
Well, it's called Dehydrator's Bible.
Yes, the Dehydrator's Bible.
And it should be anything I need to know about dehydrating. So I'm really looking forward to having time to sit down and go through it because I've got some projects coming up and I'm going to see exactly what it says to dehydrate because blueberry season is going to start in the next week or so.
Yeah.
And we're going to be bowed up with blueberries. And I'm hoping to learn to dehydrate them in a way that maybe we can sell them and ship because that would be a way to ship blueberries. We can't ship them fresh.
No, you can't ship them fresh. They won't last. Yeah.
And then Shady Creek Farms.
Yep. Shady Creek Farms brought us some honey.
Gallberry.
It's gallberry
and palmetto.
And palmetto honey.
Yes.
Yeah, and y'all have to understand, our bee guys did not come back this year for some strange reason. And we usually get cases of honey here to live off of every year. But when they didn't come back and bring us any honey, Wanda and I was like in a panic mode because
we're like having to buy honey.
We're having to buy honey, but then we've been to J&J Acres, which we showed you, and now we've got honey from Shady Creek Farms. We've got their honey. Mm-hmm. So this was a blessing to us. It's the Lord's way of blessing us, with different things, and we're looking so forward to using this honey.
Yes, and they also soap and salve came from them too.
Soaps and salves came from them also. Yeah, and it's just thank y'all. You don't know how much we needed that.
Yes, and then Chicken Coop Art. Now she sent me some things before, but she did the salt and pepper shakers, and they have chickens on them, and they are so cute.
They're so cute.
So.
Now we did get to talk to her a good bit.
Yes, and she's been somebody that we've corresponded with several times throughout the year.
Yeah.
And then Martin, I think his last.
Is it Palmer?
Palmer.
Martin Palmer. Is that the one with the muscadine?
Muscadine firewater.
Firewater.
So, and it's in like a wine bottle, and I'll show you that too.
Yeah, it's we hadn't tried it yet, but. Yeah, that might be for a special occasion.
I probably needed it yesterday.
She could have probably drank some yesterday to help her throat.
I didn't think about it, but that's probably something I needed.
Yeah, because he told me, he said, "Now you don't want to do a lot of it at one time."
If it's firewater, it's got all the hot stuff in the cayenne and all that. That's for colds, and I should have thought of that yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes, that probably would have helped. And then
we got a lady brought by. One of our subs brought us by. What's it called? A baggie opener.
Yeah, it holds your bag opener. I'd never seen.
We'd never seen anything like that. Like your Ziploc bags, you set them down in this thing, and it holds the bag open so you can put your stuff in it.
So
you don't
you're
get it on the edges and
trying to hold and do. It holds it open.
Very thoughtful. Thank you so much. That's something that we do a lot of stuff in Ziploc bags, and that's going to really be a blessing here. As a matter of fact, you'll probably see it being used in some of our videos, I'm sure.
Yeah, as things start getting ready.
Yeah.
And one lady also brought us a brush to clean cast iron. Thank you so much, because I did not have one like this. One lady, bless her heart, I just cracked up. She walked by and she says, "Here, I got you some tea." And she had 6 or 8 bags of tea, and she handed it to me, and she said, "I got them at the hotel." And I started laughing. I says, "Oh, so you stole me some tea?" And she just cracked up, and she said, "Well, technically I paid for the room."
Right.
So I don't know her name, but she did bring me some tea, and I have that. And then one of the last things, I think it's the last one on the list, is the Trail of Tears beans.
Yes.
I'm not sure who handed me those. Do you remember?
I wasn't there. I might have been there, but I was so busy I wasn't paying attention.
It didn't have a name on it, and there were so many people come by till I'd hate to say which one it was. Yeah. But if you can contact me and say, "Hey, that was me." Because the Trail of Tears beans has a story behind it.
There's a history behind those beans. Yeah.
That's when the all the natives were being moved from this area in Mississippi all the way through to Oklahoma. And this is some of the beans that they took and planted when they got there, I believe. And that's why it's called the Trail of Tears beans. So I'm anxious to try those probably when our green beans come out of the containers in the next couple of weeks. I may try those type beans and see how they do. We might
do that. There was one channel that brought YouTube channel that brought us by, and I want to say this right now, because the lady, when she walked up to me, she handed me a gift of 2 bottles of goat milk. And the bottle, I think she had frozen the milk. I'm not sure it was frozen. There was ice on it, I know. I think she had, because it was so cold. It was even cold when we got home. And, yeah, we got it on Saturday. We drove all Sunday and got home, and it was still cold. Of course, we had it in ice chest. We had it in ice chest, but it was the ice. We didn't even add new ice. No, didn't even add new ice. It was still. We forgot, cold. And we were afraid it was going to ruin. But it was still, the bottle still felt ice cold. Still felt ice cold. But now she told me, she said when she gave me this milk, I hope I get this right, and if I don't, forgive me. But she told me, she said this milk comes from truly organic goats that have not been fed grain. And for once, I thought to myself, because I used to raise Nubian milk goats, and for once, I realized somebody understood that goats are not intended to eat grain. Their rumen in their stomach is not designed for grain. And she said these have not been fed grain. These are strictly browsers and grass eaters and stuff like that. And she said, you know, it's as organic as you're going to get. She said the buck is kept way away from the pen where these does are. And she said, as a matter of fact, people tell us this is the best tasting milk that they've ever drank. So thank you for giving us those 2 bottles of milk. I really appreciate that, because
because I've never had goat's milk. So.
Goat's milk is the most healthy milk you can drink. It's naturally homogenized.
Yes, and it's easy on the stomach. It's good for babies. Yeah. I just never have been around it. Danny used to have his own.
I used to have my own, yeah.
And so we do appreciate that.
We do appreciate that, and that is B Maverick.
But yes, we want to thank them for the milk.
Thank you for the milk. Yeah, we definitely appreciated that. Now, have we missed anybody?
Probably.
Probably?
If we did, I'm sorry.
If we did, I apologize.
Because we have met so many people, and a list of people that we have seen comment throughout the year and a half that we've had a channel. And, I just had to hug them because, like S.G. Woodard. I've seen her comment.
That was funny.
I thought it was a man, and almost everybody I've seen on YouTube, if they read comments, when they see S.G. Woodard, they go, oh, he said, S.G. Woodard's a woman.
Yeah, she's just a petite lady.
And we got to meet her, and I was just like, oh my
God, yes, we just hugged and hugged.
So there's many of you that we met.
There's a lot of you.
When you told me your name, like Leo
Baltz. Yeah.
And then Ice's World.
Ice's World.
It's just awesome to meet you guys.
Meet all y'all. We see your comments. And then put a face
to names.
Yeah.
So, and still, some of y'all mix the pictures up, I'm sure, because there was so many.
But y'all, we just thought we'd take this opportunity to say thanks to the subscribers and the different YouTube channels that was there that brought us the gifts. And we're also, I want to go ahead and throw this out because I think this might be the right time. Wanda and I are wanting to do a video about the conference and about all the people that we met. The problem is we did not get to take any pictures ourselves because we were so busy. And if you are one of our subscribers
and you
have pictures that you took with us and you would like to have it put on our channel, if you could email us and send us your pictures, we're going to try to, it may take a few weeks to get this together, but
yes, I want to do like a music video with all the people that send me pictures.
Yeah.
So send it to WANKINGDAN20@gmail.com. And as I get the pictures, I'll put them in a folder, and I'll give everybody a couple of weeks to get pictures to me. It doesn't matter if it's pictures of you and I together or some other picture you took at the conference from a distance or whatever. If you just think it's a good picture, you'd like to have it in the video. I can't promise every picture I get will go in the video because I don't know how many I'll get.
How many we'll end up with, because we took hundreds of pictures with people. But
yes, I think we probably took more than 500 to 1,000 pictures.
Probably.
Our face hurt from smiling so much, and so we would really like copies of them if you don't mind us using them. And if you would either tell us your channel name or your first name that we can use, or whatever, we would appreciate that, because that way we could kind of throw out the pictures.
Yeah, we could throw a picture up with the name of who it is, and just, hey, you get it would give you an opportunity to be seen on a YouTube channel with Deep South Homestead. If that might excite you, then we would love to have it. If not, then you don't have to worry about sending us one. But those of you who would like to have your picture on one of our videos,
and mainly because we would like to know.
Yeah, because we didn't get no pictures.
We didn't take any pictures. What little bit I filmed was when we were sitting on the panel. I filmed just a little bit. I filmed going up and coming back, just a little bit of the road trip.
Some of the live streaming.
A little bit at O'Charlie's, I think.
Some at O'Charlie's we filmed, some at Cracker Barrel.
And that's it.
Yeah, we were so busy we didn't get to do any pictures, and we hate that because
we're video makers.
We're video makers ourselves, and we didn't even get videos of y'all.
We didn't even get a picture of the Pratts or anything like that.
No.
Starry, Patera, the only time I know is other people took pictures, and we're dependent on them to send us pictures, because we didn't take our own pictures with anybody.
Right.
And it's crazy.
Yeah, that's how wound up you can get. You realize, you make those mistakes, and so now.
And I heard several people, I mean, just like Art and Bree, they said they realized after they had gotten through with their class, they forgot to set the camera up.
Yep.
And with Danny's class, we set the camera up, but Dummy here didn't turn it on. I had it on, but I didn't have it recording. And probably the first 10 minutes.
10 minutes, we didn't even get recorded.
I looked up and I saw it wasn't recording, and I hit the record button, so he had to do a preface to his video because I didn't even start the record button. So that's how wound up everybody.
That's how easy things can change, But anyway, before this video goes any longer, we just wanted to let y'all have an opportunity to be on our channel. So once again, thank y'all for taking the opportunity to come to this conference and to share your time with us and to give us the gifts that you gave us. In return, we would like to give back to y'all a video with you in it. So send those pictures to the email address.
Yeah, WANKINGDAN20@gmail.com.
And we would love to make this video, y'all. So thank y'all from Deep South Homestead. Bye-bye, guys.
And when we got home, Miss Lois had sent me a beautiful package of healthy snacks. Thank you, Miss Lois, for my welcome home gift.